guys, so today's video is going to be a Q&A. I asked you guys on my Instagram to ask me some questions and I didn't really give any specific topic, so I feel like this is going to be all over the place. I did already choose the questions, but I do feel like this is gonna get a little deep, okay? I'm just gonna say it now. So it's gonna be like sister to sister talk here. I feel like it's so dark right now because it's just a dreary day and the lighting isn't as happy and bright as usual, but that's okay because we're just gonna get cozy. I've got my favorite sweatpants on. This is what they look like. I actually posted a boomerang of them yesterday whenever I asked you guys about the questions, and I had so many people ask me where it was from. So I'll have it linked down below if you guys are curious because I know a lot of you guys loved it. But I put on a sweater so I could look a little bit more put together because I feel like in most of my videos nowadays I got no makeup, sweatpants, sweatshirts, leggings, so I thought we would dress it up a little bit. If you guys want to be included on the next Q&A, then be sure to follow me on my Instagram. I also just do Q&As like on Instagram randomly sometimes, like if I'm on a car ride or something. I also have my cup of coffee right here. I always make a cup of coffee for my Q&As and I never finish my coffee during my Q&A because I talk so much. So I'm gonna try to remind myself to actually drink my coffee. Let's just get started. So I'm gonna kick off with this question. This is a very popular question. I think I'm gonna start off with the more popular ones, but this one says, what are your plans after college since this year you are a senior? So my plans after college is to continue doing YouTube. And have I ever talked about that? I don't know. I plan to go full-time YouTube. We'll see how it goes. It's a very, I don't want to say unreliable job, but the income is just like this. It comes in waves. I mean, it is crazy. So hopefully I'm able to do it once I put in a lot of work. You know, I'm a full-time student right now and I'm in a long-distance relationship and I'm planning a wedding. So it's really hard to keep up with my YouTube channel, but I have a feeling that whenever I do it, hopefully it will become a little bit more reliable. As I, kind of venture into that, I hope that you guys can understand, in order for me to do that full-time and in order to continue doing videos, I'm gonna have to start taking on sponsorships, which I already do now, but more sponsorships. Post more often. Now I want to be really clear with you guys, that does not mean that all of a sudden I'm just gonna start, throwing out brands left and right. I am only gonna work with brands that I love. I've always been that way and I will always be that way. Just to kind of fill you guys in, that's the plan. I also plan on doing some more little ventures, little business ventures. So that's my plan after college, but to start off, I'm definitely going to do YouTube full-time. Okay, so this is probably maybe the #1 asked question, if not definitely the top 3. And I knew right whenever I got engaged, and especially after we get married, this will be like our #1 question. And it says, do you want to have a baby and when? And I know that I want to have kids, and I know Sam wants to have kids. In a Q&A a while ago, I probably should just clear this up, because whenever me and Sam did our engagement Q&A, I'm pretty sure, we said, yeah, we didn't talk about kids before getting married, and we misspoke. We meant to say, we didn't talk about, the names of the kids, all of that. I knew while dating him that Sam wanted to be a dad. I knew that he wanted kids, and I knew that he wanted more than, just one kid. But we were just trying to say, we didn't, constantly dream up our kids' names and stuff like that, just for healthy boundaries. But back to the question of, do you want a baby and when? Yes, I love kids. I feel like I don't talk about this much on the internet, but I have always loved kids. I've always babysat kids. Growing up, every week I volunteered at our church with some form of kids, from little itty bitty babies to even elementary schoolers. So I have always loved kids. I actually used to want to be a teacher because I love kids so much. I love teaching and just loving on kids. So of course I want to be a mom one day. But as to when, we definitely want to have enough time to get to know each other and work out the kinks that come with marriage and then have kids. But if God plans to give us kids early, then we'll take it. I know that kids are a blessing and I love little kids, but we definitely want to give ourselves some time. We just don't have an exact timeline. Okay, so the next question is, has it been difficult to plan your wedding with you and Sam living in 2 different cities? Yes and no. I would actually say it's been harder on him because he has to drive up to my hometown because that is where we're having the wedding. So it's just kind of hard on him because he also works a job. It's just really hard, but thankfully he's not doing the bulk of the planning because I love to plan, and generally the girl plans the wedding. It's been difficult, yes, but I thought it would be worse and it hasn't been too bad. Guys, this was the number one asked question, and it says, when is your wedding date? We're getting married. What? And I know you guys are gonna kill me because I just bleeped that out. And I just really want it to be really exciting. I think you guys will kind of know whenever it's coming just based off of like photos and trips and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I just like to keep this surprise there. Okay, so this is kind of a deeper question, and it says, what's your biggest tip on how you can calm yourself down when you're feeling a lot of anxiety? So I have kind of opened up about my anxiety on here before, and I actually was doing a Q&A on Instagram the other day, and I had a ton of questions about anxiety, and I guess a lot of people are starting to relate with me in that way. Not to say that I've fully overcome it, but I definitely have learned how to deal with it through counseling and through actually like working through it and through seeking help and all of those things. So I know that I want to relay that to you guys and just kind of help you out in ways that I can. And so I actually posted this picture on my Instagram story, and I had so many messages about people saying how helpful it was. And this is just what I do when I get anxious. Prayer is so important, and I'm telling you, I know that in the beginning it just feels like it's doing nothing. I know that, and I feel I get it, but I promise you it is working because it's just taking time. There's actually a lot of like psychology into this and just learning about the brain, that you can actually retrain your brain to think a different way. And so the more that you retrain your brain to think better thoughts and, you know, thoughts of thankfulness and thoughts of truth, oh my goodness, it will transform your brain. That's why the verse Romans 12:2 is so amazing. It says, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. It literally means that we can transform how we think and our thought patterns. I learned a lot of this in counseling and just like therapy and things like that. But there's actually a really good book called Get Out of Your Head. I'll also put it on the screen here. I know I mentioned it a couple months back, but it really does a good job of putting this into like plain terms and really being able to apply it to your life. So I would highly recommend this book. Jenny Allen is so amazing. I'll also link down below some sermons that have really helped me with anxiety, and I think I'm going to make a whole video about it, but I just wanted to put that on the screen here for you guys to be able to screenshot and look at and just know what to do in those moments. Now, that's just what I do. I'm not saying it's the perfect way to do it, but I know that it has really helped me. A little side note, I will every so often get the question of, can you give tips of how to not be anxious from a non-Christian perspective? And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I don't think it's possible. I know that God has healed me and God has saved me, and I have ultimate hope that is not in this life. And I don't know how people can truly find true peace. I'm sure that they can find all these other things that are momentary peace, but I promise you it's not going to compare to the peace that Jesus gives me. So I would never give anybody advice other than the advice to pray and to go to the Lord. And if you don't know God, first find Him and realize what Jesus did for you, that He died for you and that He loves you. And that's where you'll find your peace, I promise. I think it would be wrong of me to give any other advice because nothing has helped me more than the gospel itself. I've chased other things. I've chased, views. I've chased likes. I've chased opinions of others. I've chased approval, but none of it brings true peace. It's only God who can bring true peace. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. So we're also going to get deep here. This question I actually got a lot as well, and I thought I definitely should talk about it. It says, do you ever struggle with food restriction or body image? So this is a really good question, and I'm gonna be honest, I actually struggle with overeating. I find comfort in food, and I also really love sugar to the point of where sometimes it can control me. So I really struggle in that aspect. I love dessert. I love dessert so much. And sometimes it feels like I can't go without it, which to me is a little scary. But I do want to be honest and say, like, I've definitely had thoughts of, man, you know, if I eat too much, I'll get fat. Man, I shouldn't have 3 cookies tonight because I could gain some weight. And I think that every girl has those thoughts, but I would never say that those thoughts have ever consumed me. And so now to talk about body image, I think every girl to some degree struggles with body image. I'm sure every single girl looks in the mirror and at some point she's unsatisfied. And I would say that we have more negative thoughts about ourselves than we do positive. I am totally there, and that is something that we just have to fight. And you just have to fight it with truth. You've got to know who you are and whose you are, that you are made and you are beautiful to the Lord, and that's what matters. I think the biggest tip if you're struggling with body image is to get off social media. I think our world fuels body image. I think our world would be so different if we praised a girl for her character rather than her looks. I do believe that we are way too about looks nowadays, meaning like, you know, how does my body look in this picture? Or how does this look? How does this look? And I think if you struggle with that, then stop feeding it. Don't get on social media. Also, don't feed other girls in that aspect. Not to say that we can't, you know, tell a girl she's beautiful. I am all for that. I want to be an encourager of all aspects. But I think if we really started praising a girl for her character, then we would feel a lot more secure in who we are. So that would be my biggest tip, is to get off social media, stop taking pictures of yourself if that's really what you struggle with. Okay, so this question says, how long did you have braces and what did you look like with them? I'll insert some pictures here. I think I had braces for like 2.5 years. I had them for most of middle school. It was terrible. As you can see, my gums, you can like not see my teeth when I had braces because I was allergic to the metal in my mouth, so my gums were so inflamed. And I've also had tons of gum issues. I actually had surgery like maybe around 2 years ago. That was like kind of a major surgery to fix my gums. They were overgrown, and the only way to fix it was like shave down my bones. It was just a really interesting experience. I won't put a picture on the screen because it is very graphic the way that they looked for a while, but I guess I'll put some pictures of like a little bit after my gum surgery where it's not so graphic. But I definitely am thankful that I did that. It completely changed my smile and I'm really happy with it. Another question, favorite T Swift song? Oh my gosh, hands down, All Too Well. There's no other that can compare, and I don't even want to hear an argument otherwise, okay? So honestly, a lot of the questions are about our wedding and Sam. I know that you guys love Sam. So this question is, are you and Sam planning on making a couple channel together? And as of right now, no. I don't want to say never because you never know what can happen, but that's not in the plans right now. Of course, he will come on my channel all the time, especially when we're married, but I think I just want to keep it down to one channel. Somebody asked, are you and Sam wanting to get a dog after you get married? Yes, yes, and yes. If you watched my What I Got for Christmas video, then you know the answer to that. Okay, so this next question is very personal, and I try to keep my life pretty private despite it being on the internet. I try not to talk about things that are super personal except for my faith because I love talking about my faith, but anything else I'm like, I don't want to put that on the internet. But I'm going to be real with you guys because I know that I love when girls are real, so I kind of expect myself to do the same. But this question is, are you scared for the first time? So if you guys don't know, I have been saving myself for marriage, so I've never had sex before. And so to answer the question, I am not scared for the first time, no. I'm definitely excited, but there's also some nerves that go along with that. And you know, I always hear people be like, no, we're so ready, we're not nervous at all. And I'm like, I don't know how you're not nervous in any way at all. I'm gonna be honest, I am, but I'm definitely excited because I know how special that act is and that God designed it that way, and I'm excited to do it in His design. Now, I wanna say there's no shame if you have messed up or if you have had sex. God can restore all things, and I know that for sure, and I'm not saying that me and Sam have been perfect in any way. We are all messed up in some sort of way. We all struggle with sexual sin and temptations. So I just want to make that super, super clear to you guys, and that there's no shame with that, and God has grace for everything. Where sin abounds, grace abounds more. I love that verse. But yeah, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm also really, really excited. So somebody asked, have you and Sam found your future home? And the answer is no, not yet. It is a process. Living in the city is very expensive, so we're just trying to figure out our options with that and what to do, and it's just a whole thing. So no, we have not, but we are starting the process. So you guys can comment down below if you guys want to see us, like if I should vlog like house shopping, or if we go look at apartments, like looking at apartments. I guess it's like hunting, house hunting. Let me know if you guys want to see that. Will there be a wedding video? Yes, yes, and yes. I found an amazing videographer, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Do you have your wedding dress yet? Yes, I do. I'm so excited. I'm actually going to be posting that video, I think right after this one. I'm really excited for the video. I've like almost finished editing it. I just have to make the thumbnail and stuff, and it's so fun. I know you guys are gonna love it. I think I answered all of the questions, and of course I have a full cup of coffee at the end of this. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I hope it kind of helped you get a little peek into my life and how things have been going. And let me know if you guys want to see the video all about anxiety. If you guys want to see us like house hunting, please let me know. I would love to hear it. And I've also been trying to think of like, what other videos are you guys wanting to see? I don't want to get caught up in just vlogging my everyday life. Like, I want to keep you guys interested in whatever I'm doing. I love you guys, and I'm so thankful for you. And you guys are just so kind to me. So kind to me, and I'm so thankful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you guys want to be involved in the next Q&A, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.